Alright, as we've done in the past, there are several ways here to find the period and sketch the graph of this particular function. One way, what we can do is take our parent values. Now with cosecant we usually have 8 increments in our period of 0 to 2 pi. So we would have 0, pi over 4, pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, pi, 5 pi over 4, 3 pi over 2, 7 pi over 4, and 2 pi. At 0, we are undefined. At pi over 4, we are root 2, which is approximately 1.41. At pi over 2, we're 1, root 2 again, and then we're undefined. And then we drop to negative root 2, negative 1, negative root 2, and then here we're undefined again. So that's our full period. Alright, so with these values in mind, we know this value of 4 is going to affect the y coordinates, this value is going to affect x, and this value is going to affect x. So one way of doing this is taking this. Alright, these values here, what we need to do is we need to subtract pi and then divide by 2. Remember, with x, everything acts opposite even order of operations. With y, we're just going to multiply by 4. So let's take care of the y. This is going to be undefined. This is going to be 4 root 2, 4, 4 root 2, undefined, negative 4 root 2, negative 4, negative 4 root 2, and undefined. Okay? For x, again, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract pi and divide by 2. So what this ends up being is a phase shift of negative pi over 2. Here, we would subtract pi, which will give us a negative 3/4 pi, and divide by 2, which will give us a negative 3 pi over 8. So what we've done, we've gone from negative 4 pi over 8 to negative 3 pi over 8, so our increments are 1/8 pi. So what we can do is we can just add that 1/8 pi, or we can just simply operate on each one of these x values as we did before. I would rather just go up by pi over 8, so this would be 2, or negative pi over 4. This would be negative pi over 8. This would be, let me make sure my values are matching up here, to here, to here, to here. Okay, here we are at 0. Here we're going to be at pi over 8. Here we're going to be at 2 pi over 8, or pi over 4. 3 pi over 8, and pi over 2. Alright, so if you're looking here, what we have is we have a period of pi. Alright, our period has been cut in half. Here we have a k of 2, so that should make sense. That kind of leads into our second way of doing this. What we can do is we can pull out this k, and when we do, we're left with this. Okay, so again, what we have is we have a phase shift of negative pi over 2, check, alright, and we have a k value of 2, alright, remember the period's 2 pi divided by k, so 2 pi, so it's pi, alright. In this case we want 8 increments, so we're going to take that period of pi, divide by 8, so our increments are an increase of pi over 8, which we have validated here in all of these. Alright, so when it comes to graphing this, I would just go from negative pi over 2 to positive pi over 2, increments of pi over 8, graph these values, and we should be okay. Let's throw this down real quick. Y equals 4 cosecant 2x plus pi. Graphing calculator. Here we said we wanted to go from negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Let's go to our incremental value, our tick spacing of pi over 8. I'm going to force that. Those decimals are crazy, but if you look here, what we do is we have a full period. Here it's 4. Let's just zoom in. I know it's going to kind of screw up our graph, but let's just zoom in here. Alright, and here we are at 4, and then here we are at 4 root 2. 4 root 2 is approximately 5.657. So if you look, 5.657. So that checks out, and that's how I would graph 45 one of those two ways. But again, they're both going to yield the same answer.